Here we have Jake's above the water butterfly. Get him moving forward. Getting a pretty good extension out in front. Get those forearms tightened up a little bit more on that streamline. Alrighty, as we look at this stroke, we're going to get you moving forward just a little bit. Doing really good right through here, keeping those palms not facing down towards the bottom of the pool. As soon as we get into that spot, that's when those palms are facing down. Make sure as you're going through that pole, keep those palms facing up. That's going to allow your shoulders to rotate and the shoulder socket a little bit better. It's going to make it easier to actually sweep your arms out in front of you. And as you get into this extension up in front, you want to end up seeing those palms facing out towards either wall. That way it's going to end up releasing a lot more of the pressure on those shoulders. That's what makes butterfly really hard, is when you keep those palms down, you end up having to come real high out of the water. Okay, as we go through that turn, doing a little bit of that twisting action, I can see that your body is pretty much lined up right there. We want to make sure that we're not getting that deep in the water, so you really got to drive those knees up underneath you. That way you can move in the top 12 inches or so of the water. That way you're moving in the garbage water at the surface. That your body will be able to kind of move through that, and you're not going to have nearly as much resistance towards your body as you're going through that turn. Just going further a little bit more, using a couple of dolphin kicks, that's good. I'd like to actually see you get a little bit more flexion, and as you're coming off the wall in your stomach, it's going to be a little bit harder, so make sure you're working on pushing off on that side a little bit more. That way you're going to be able to get your legs into more of a 90-degree bend. Right now we just have a slight bend. What we want to do is be able to get your legs bent up here a little bit more. By getting those legs bent a little bit more from the knee down, you're going to be able to force a little bit more of the power out of that kick. Do that for about the first 2 kicks, and then after that work on tightening that up and make it a little bit quicker. As we look at your overall timing, looking at the stroke and your body line, looks real good. You've got a nice rhythm going on. You're not really having to struggle to get your head out of the water. I think after a while, once you get a little bit tired though with those palms facing down, it's going to be a lot harder to really try and keep those arms out of the water. As we can really see right here, your elbow is facing down towards the pool. They're down below where your hand is. That makes it really hard to be able to keep those arms out of the water as you're moving into doing 100, 200s of butterfly. As we look into here, good extension on the wall. You know, you're hitting it right at the right spot. The only thing I'd see is you're coming up real high to breathe, and then you're diving down a little bit too deep. Make sure as you're doing the last 5 yards of any butterfly swim, whether it's 200, whether it's, you know, for 200 IM, 4 IM, or the 100 butterfly, make sure you're not breathing inside those flags on the finish. That'll help you get it so that you're not having as much of an up-down motion, but moving into that wall in a straighter line. Very nice job. Here we have Jake's underwater butterfly video. As we see him dive in, utilizing that dolphin kick real well. It's maybe just a little bit deep. As we go into that breakout, we can see right here, head is up, eyes are focused on where the surface is. It's going to be able to have to just keep that head down so I can keep things going. He's got great rhythm kind of going on. The one thing I'd really like to see out of Jake as we watch his butterfly is really get a much longer reach out in front. As soon as he's entering here, he's going right into that pole. And the other thing is his eyes are kind of down. When your arms are entering, I'd like to see him start looking at his hands in front. That way, as he presses down on that stroke, he's going to be able to breathe at the right time. But the big thing is, as soon as you're here, get a little bit more extension. As we look at those hands, he's got a ton of water, or a ton of air on both arms. So we want to make sure that he's able to get that full extension in there. That way we can get that timing down even better, but then also he's going to end up with a much, much stronger pull. After watching the dolphin kick on his butterfly, that's one of those things I definitely want to see him do off of his walls on his backstroke and freestyle. Nice job, Cam.